and talk to you. So you're up. Yes. Like I say, if you got questions, ask him. Otherwise, he'll explain what goes on back here.
You guys can step down here if you'd like. Just watch the big step right there. You're actually standing on the back of Discovery. You got the three main engines are back here, engines 1, 2, and 3. The main things here are the actuators. They're hydraulically driven to gimbal the engines side to side, up and down. The two yellow covers you see there is liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen that supply the engine with its fuel. You got helium tanks on the floor. All them covers you see in there, all different colors. They're just covers that we put on the line so that we don't dent any line. All the yellow you see are platforms that we install so we can gain access to the different parts of the orbiter. We got a couple of tanks there with the red bottoms on them. Those are hydrazine tanks. They run our APU, auxiliary power units. Those are our actual tanks that we have hydrogen on board.
They're all CLPDs?
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, how do you get the engines in and out?
We got a big heister that comes in here. First thing we do is we got to take the engine rings off. We got a bunch of tiles on them. And then we have to disconnect the interfaces. And the heister takes on the weight and they deep in the actuators and they back the engine out. And they only got like 3-inch clearance all the way around.
Really?
Good observers and take your time. They do 1 engine per shift.
Jack has the job of putting the platforms and stuff in, so when the orbiter gets back, the engines are still here, so all of this is all closed up. So they come in through the sides and they put in the lights that you see in there. Those are not part of the orbiter. They put those in, they put in all these platforms and build and erect the stuff to get them all the way up to what we call the penthouse.
There's a good group of 8 guys handing platforms in through the access doors on either side. It's a pretty tight fit in the aft department, especially when engines are in. When we get these engines ready to prep and ready to come out, we rotate this whole service structure, moves out of the way. And it splits right there in the middle. And the big heister comes in here and picks up the weight of the engine.
Everything we're on, including a dozen transmissions, it moves and opens up like a clamshell and goes all the way back against the wall.
Wow. We got a great group of guys out here that know what they're doing. Try not to hurt themselves or hurt the orbiter.
Yes, it's a very fragile vehicle. You know, there's over 200 miles of very fragile wiring on board.
Really?
This vehicle here has seen 39 flights. It's one great, awesome flying machine.
Yeah, that's quite a view right there. You don't get to see that.
We call this the business end back here. Get the astronauts up and bring them home to their families.
So what's going to happen to the engines down?
Oh, we take them across the street. They got an engine shop across the street. They're perfectly good engines. Hopefully something in the future, maybe we can reuse them.
Yeah, they still have more life left in the engine. So the engines we'll put in here. Yes.
They got a great track record.
So what's going to be put in place when they put out the sled?
We call them engines off stick. Actually, if you're at the Smithsonian looking at this there, from the outside of the ship, you're going to think engines are installed. It's just basically the dome, and we're just going to hook it up from the inside, but we're going to put the engine rings back on it. Everything back here will be all black again, just like it returns.
It's just not going to be the real thing.
From the outside. If you went from the inside, it would look different.
Yeah. And they want it just, you know, you can see all the dings on the tiles that happen during launch. It's just going to, they're leaving it like that, all natural.
Very cool stuff.
Thank you.
No problem. You guys go up front already?
No, we can't. We're ready to do it.
Yeah. I'm glad you guys came with the business. Yep. Sure, no problem.
Space gun.
Oh, really?
Why do you use space gun?
I enjoy it. I enjoy sending people, you know, great vehicles, sending them up in space. Have them come back. Big pride out here. We got a great group of guys out here, girls out here. what they're doing, and they're safe about it. A lot of lessons learned. This vehicle is as safe as it's ever been right now.
And you're telling me, I mean,
And it's a shame that we're putting them away. But, you know,
Hey, Mike. Close off of everything.
yes, yes. But they've been good to us. If it wasn't for this, we wouldn't have space station, basically. I mean, we brought up small stuff, we brought up big stuff. This is the workhorse.
somebody asked me what the benefit of it was, and I told them that the lab work that comes out of the space station in the future, because of this, because they never could have built it without that, and you have to have a platform to work in space. It never occurred to me until
Yeah.
was talking about what we really learned to do was build stuff in space, and it never occurred to me that the practical stuff we were doing is actually what we were learning, you know?
Right.
Amazing.
But this is bringing the stuff up. This has been our workhorse right here.
They're beautiful vehicles.
They're helium tanks. We got two on each side. The yellow coverage you see is the liquid oxygen fuel line, and the liquid, liquid oxygen got hydrogen on here. The actual fuel to fuel the engine. You got your two actuators that you go back and forth. Oh yeah.
17 inches in diameter, right?
What's that?
The line's 17 inches diameter?
Yes.
It's a lot of fuel.
Oh, it's, I don't know, you could drain a Olympic-sized pool in seconds. I mean, matter of fact, the one at the pad, we had to take the engine ring off on engine 3. They had to change an LO2 valve, and they did it from the outside of the ship because they couldn't gain access to it.
We were out there when they were taking everything off.
Yeah, we started doing that last Saturday.
Gentlemen, you ready to go up a level? Hands here with her food. Thanks, Jack.
No
Thank you
problem.
very much, Jack.
Thank you. Nice to meet you guys.
Oh yeah, we have to
Enjoy
see
your
you again.
tour.
We have to see you.
One. So the red cones fit on right here. They bolt on right here.
And out there is the order of maneuvering pods. Those are the ones that normally have the red cones on you're used to seeing. We took those off after we deserviced them. They're down at the Hypergol maintenance facility getting their final deservicing, and then Thursday they'll be on their way to White Sands in New Mexico, where they'll go ahead and take all the thrusters out and really make them safe for the museum.
Will they also kind of do research on how they wore down and stuff like that?
I don't know what the long-term plan is after the fact that they're out, but they will actually remove the flight thrusters and they'll put some mock-ups in, because there's still shelf life left in those thrusters.
Right, right.
And that's where the drag
That's where
chute
the
is?
drag chute goes, yes, and that right there. And that's something that gets replaced after every flight. That door flies off and hits the runway, so we put a brand new door on each time. That's where the drag chute goes. And I don't know if Jack pointed it out downstairs, but underneath those white caps, those are the 8 bolts that hold the main engine in. That's what holds it in combination with these actuators. But remember, when you're going on ascent, it's pushing. Yes, yeah. But you look at it amazingly, that's the whole entire structure that supports those main engines. That's something that amazes me when you come and look at those types of things. But you know, and then Jack, as he was mentioning, has to build that scaffolding to get all the way up into these areas right here, the whole time being careful not to damage any of the fragile hardware that's in there.
Have you ever taken a ladder through a tunnel?
Now takes a very odd-shaped ladder through doors.
Yeah, but I can't adjust that anymore. My depth of field is only so much. It really sucks. That means I gotta get a new engine.
All right, we still have a lot more to see, so we're going to go downstairs and go back upstairs.
Oh, no, yeah. The fueling just
not so bad now. These tires aren't flying, but normally when we're processing a vehicle for flight, guests come in here, they want to touch stuff that they're not allowed to touch.
I know somebody that got kicked out for touching it. One press guy who got kicked out for touching a tire.
Yep. And when we pressurize these to 420 pounds per square inch. And we use dry nitrogen. I don't know if you're aware, this is the external tank door area. When we're mated to the rest of the shuttle, where we're standing right now is where the external tank is. So that large line that has the plastic film, that's where the liquid oxygen flows up to the 3 main engines. And on the other side is the fuel. So these doors are actually in their flight configuration. They're open on ascent. Okay. The other doors are closed. Okay. This is where it attaches, right there in that thing that looks like an upside down salad bowl that we call the salad bowl. There's 2 nuts up there that attach, and then up front there's 1 bolt. That's all that holds this orbiter on to the external tank and the boosters. 8.5 minutes into flight, that tank's emptied, that front bolt blows, the 2 nuts back here, and then it separates, and then the commander films it. Now that rectangular area is where there'll be cameras installed. They actually film it as the external tanks are going away, looking for any missing foam in that. Then he gives a command, these latches rotate, and these doors will close, and then you're ready at the end of the mission to come home. It's really important that those doors close.
Just a bit.
And we left them the same. They're slightly discolored from the heat of ascent. See all that? That's normally a nice light green color, but it's got like a tea stain on it from the heat of ascent. Make her smile. This was supporting the vehicle. 2 larger jacks up front support to the sides, and these support the aft of this 200,000-pound vehicle supporting the forward. Ready to go upstairs again? The curvature of the wing in that, I want to bring you here because underneath these covers, this is the reinforced carbon. This is what sees the most heat. If you get down here, you can get a picture of it, but we don't.
What's the heat getting like over here?
3,000 degrees on that.
Don't talk.
A lot of people just don't realize how much curvature there is to the vehicle, so somewhere you can stand here and look back at the shape of the wing. I think it's kind of unique.
Yeah, definitely.
And then we go up to the next level, you'll see really how much it pitches and comes down off of that. Hey.